Well, Gaffer, a great win on Tuesday night under the lights, up to third. How happy are you with that?
Brilliant win. We know how difficult in this league it is to accumulate points. Wins are so important, especially with everybody else seeming to be relentless at that top end. Boreham Wood, what a job Luke's doing with them. Ourselves, Rochdale, who have, for me, been the best team we've played against this season. They suffered a heavy defeat at York. York at home, what a team they are in terms of beating Carlisle 5-0, beating Rochdale 4-1. Carlisle themselves, under Mark Hughes. There's some huge football clubs. For us to be, a point behind the might of Carlisle with what what they can do in terms of the players they can bring in with a fan base coming down from League Two unexpectedly. For us to be competing with these sides, Southend as well, in the playoff positions. Some massive football clubs, and ourselves and Boreham Wood are doing incredibly well. But there's some huge teams. So for us to pick up 3 points against anybody is so good. And that's 3 in a row, full of confidence, bounced back well from the defeat at Carlisle. So we're doing well.
Carl McAllister, since come back from injury, has made such an impact. How important is it for the first team to have a fit Carl McAllister?
Well, Carl McAllister, for me, is one of the outstanding talents in the league. He can get in any team in this division. And what people fail to realise or don't see is his work ethic. He's always in the top 3 or 4 for high intensity running, distance covered, sprints. His work ethic is brilliant, and now he's again adding end product. And if he can get his numbers as higher than last season, it'll be another wonderful season for him. And last year he got in the National League team of the season, so it's brilliant to have him back, a fully fit Kyle. And we've got such an array and abundance of talent, young talent, who we can develop, who can get better, who are doing unbelievably well. So to have Kyle fit and ready for every game is so important and vital to us. But we know it's going to be we're going to need him at his best against Gateshead at the weekend.
And moving on to Gateshead, they're up next at New Lawn. It's the free up campaign this weekend. Loads of support across the National League system. Is it time for that National League system up into the EFL to finally change?
On Gateshead first, Alan Armstrong is doing a good job with them. They've always been up there in the past few seasons. I don't think they've had a win or an away win since Morecambe when they beat 5-2 in September, end of September. So we know it's going to be tough. They went to Wimbledon and won an FA Cup. So I'm sure they'll come here. They'll probably let us have the ball, low block, and it's up to us to break them down. But we know in transition they can hurt us. They're a good side with a good manager. So we know it's going to be tough, but we relish it. The 3-up campaign, yeah, of course. It's hopefully it'll come to fruition. I think it's now the National League. There's so many teams who are professional. It's like a League 3, no doubt about that. And I'm sure if you combined League 2 and the National League, half the teams would compete in League 2. I really believe that because of the professional model we have and other teams have. So, of course, before a ball is kicked, we know the parameters. We know that you have to win the league to go up and then once through the playoffs. So if you can get a 3-up campaign where it gives more opportunity and before a ball is kicked, the parameters, then of course I'm a huge advocate of it, and I hope it comes to fruition because it's so professional. Now non-league has changed. When I was growing up, it was portrayed in a different way. Now the National League I think is a professional. It's such a professional league, and it could easily be League 3. I think non-league really starts at National League North and South and Lower. So again, I'm a huge advocate of it, and hopefully, kicking off at 3:03 on Saturday, we'll bring it to even more light.
Looking at the squad, Jordan Moore-Taylor come off in the first half on Tuesday evening. How is Geordie?
Well, Sesson this morning was in yesterday along with Mendy. So they've been assessed. We'll find out this morning a bit more. Kanu come on and done really well. When Mendy went back to centre half, done well. So again, I've got a decision to make. There will be changes to the team. You could see 7 goals in 2 games. We conceded 4. So that will freshen it up again, but there's no weaknesses. This squad has a capability of winning the league, no doubt about it. And what a job my players are doing. You know, the way they go about their business, the way they train, the way they're enjoying their football. They really have a belief that they can go into every game and win. And, you know, if they're left out of the team, they're so encouraging because they know they're going to get an opportunity the following week, you know, whether that's starting or coming on the pitch, as we use 16 players most games. So the squad is in a good position. We'll go through a plan to beat Gateshead. You know, our plan's quite simple: the 4-2-3-1, pace, power, creativity, freedom, express themselves. And the third goal was brilliant. That, you know, when my wide players, you know, if they don't come inside and they stay wide, it's the fullbacks who should do the underlap. And if you look at the third goal, Gilly done great. It was an underlapping run. Jaden stayed wide. And he slipped him in, and a great stand up to the back post, and Temi with a brilliant header, and I was delighted for Temi. There were some magnificent performances, and yeah, we're excited about the game, and I want to give huge credit to the ground staff, Nick in particular. The way the pitch played, it was fast. You wouldn't have thought it'd been raining. You know, there's heavy rain due tomorrow, but Nick has ensured us that the pitch will be brilliant once again. And there'll be lots of games up and down the country with the amount of rainfall due that probably will get called off. You know, but our pitch is so good, and the way we do stuff at this football club, you know, is so good that I've got no hesitation in saying that the pitch will be a brilliant service for both teams to play at the weekend.